Breaking news coming in. This are the big story that we're tracking. A naval officer has been killed on board a brand new destroyer called Kolkata. The vessel was scheduled to be commissioned with the Indian Navy later this month. The naval destroyer Kolkata is officially called Yard 701. An officer of the rank of commander has been killed in the accident that took place at about 1 p.m. this afternoon. The accident reportedly involved the emergency response system on board the vessel. It killed an officer. They've also been able to identify the officer, but we're withholding the name because we're being told that his family is still being informed. A board of inquiry has been set up. One officer has been confirmed dead. Other dock officials have also reportedly been injured. The officer was reportedly killed because of a possible malfunctioning of the firefighting system in the engine room of the destroyer. The Mazgaon Docks Limited has also issued a statement saying that Yard 701, being built by MDL while undergoing machinery trials in MBPT, had a malfunction in its carbon dioxide unit, leading to a gas leakage. One naval officer and some MDL personnel were affected and have been hospitalized. We do know now that one naval officer has in fact been killed because of asphyxiation. Remember, this happened after a reported carbon dioxide leak. This vessel was yet to be formally inducted or commissioned into the Indian Navy. It was still being tried and some tests were still taking place. It was docked in the Mazgaon port. In fact, earlier when we were speaking to defense and naval experts, Major General retired G.D. Bakshi said that that crucial aspects as far as bureaucratic responsibility is concerned also need to be explored. Detailed investigations need to be carried out. Let's get a word from our correspondent Jugal Purohit, who's joining us on the phone line. Jugal, any other update?
Well, Simi, as I said, what we understand right now is that this ship was in between the Mazgaon Dock Limited in Mumbai and the Western Naval Command of the Indian Navy, which had deputed its men to actually carry out trials on the ship. So, in that sense, this time around, quite a different scenario where it's not just the Navy, but also the Ministry of Defence's Defense Production Wing, which actually comes into the picture. One will have to find out just what caused that malfunctioning of the valve. Was it poor workmanship? Was it a case of poor selection of material? Was it an accident? Was it a human error? These are questions which are still emanating from this crisis. What we understand right now is that the ship is still inside, in fact, very close to the coast of Mumbai, inside the harbour of the Mumbai Port Trust, where the entire team is still docked. We also understand that apart from this one commander rank officer who has unfortunately lost his life, there is no serious injury to anyone else. Initially, there were reports that 2 or 3 of the MDL personnel had also inhaled carbon dioxide, but now I'm given to understand they are fine. I'm also given to understand that there is an inquiry which is already ordered into this incident, and a team will be shortly visiting the ship to actually carry out an investigation. So, but the only difference this time around, as I see it, is that it's a brand new ship. It's a ship which was about to get commissioned into the Navy. It's a next generation ship, and as I said some time back, it's such a large ship that it's second only to an aircraft carrier. It's the second biggest class of ships which the Indian Navy operates. It's a destroyer which to which the INS Kolkata belongs to in terms of its class. And this incident couldn't have come at a worse time for the Indian Navy, which is already grappling with a situation where most of its assets, or rather many of its assets, have been involved in some way or the other with malfunctioning, in some cases which have gone to the extreme whereby they've actually cost the lives of the personnel. It's really a very, very hard time for the Indian Navy, as well as the officiating Chief of Naval Staff, that's the Vice Admiral Dhawan. So as of now, as we see it, the Ministry of Defense, the Indian Navy, the Mazgaon Dock, these are the 3 parties which are essentially involved in the incident. And as I said, the inquiry has been ordered ordered. We'll have to be a little patient to understand just what caused this. But as I said, it couldn't have come at a worse time. The cause, of course, is something that will still be found. Speaking about the officer who unfortunately lost his life, he was a part of the ship's commissioning crew, which is the first one to actually board a ship. And this particular officer was the commander for engineering, which means that he, in terms of a job on ship, he was the person in charge of all the engineering works. And the ship was actually undergoing machinery trials, and it was within the scope of machinery trials that this fire safety system, fire response system was being tested. And it is at that point that this unfortunate incident took place, in which this one officer, while he lost his life, 2 or 3 other personnel from Mazagon docks were initially unwell, but now, as I understand from my sources, they are fine. An inquiry has been ordered into this incident. Jimmy?
Absolutely, yet another tragic loss, and as Jugal is pointing out, the tragedy couldn't have come at a worse time for the Navy. Jugal, another aspect of this incident is the fact that the ship was docked at the Mazagon docks. In fact, we also got a statement from the dockyard. When we were speaking to Major General retired G.D. Bakshi earlier on, he said that security at the dockyards is also an issue, and this is something that also needs to be investigated.
Well, that's correct, Amy. I mean, security is an issue which can never, ever be ruled out. But, one must understand that this entire incident took place while the ship was not inside the Mazagon dock. It was on water inside the Bombay Port Trust waters, which, as I just explained, is extremely close to the coast. And the whole aspect of security comes into play when we talk about the valve. So one will have to wait and watch as to just what caused the malfunctioning. Was it, as you're pointing out, perhaps a security angle involved? Was it an accident? Was it a poor workmanship, quality control? Factors which an inquiry will reveal, but the fact is that this accident is indeed has come at the worst possible time for the Navy.
Absolutely, Jugal. Hold that thought, stay on with us. We're also being joined by Major General retired Afsar Karim.
You see, this accident taken by itself may not be so big or so strange, but since it's a series of accidents in the Navy, therefore the cause has to be much deeper. Whether it is sabotage at some level, whether it is bad quality work, whether it is engineering faults, whether it is human problem, disgruntled people, all this has to be inquired in depth. And there is no point just talking about it and then having an inquiry which brings out nothing. It has to be something much deeper to be looked into and then corrected, because so series of accidents within a short period in this part of Navy never had such thing before.
Absolutely.
So there must be something going on which must be discovered and corrected.
Absolutely. And Major General Afsar Karim, the reason why this is really a case, really a cause for alarm, is the fact that 11 such mishaps have been reported in a short period of 8 months.
Exactly. And this is not a coincidence anymore. There is something looks like is going on with a certain motives. So that has to be checked. And when you come to the bottom of the thing, then you can stop it. Otherwise, if you just have an inquiry and say human fault and so, and just forget about it, then nothing will be set right. But I'm sure the Navy will have to take care of this, and the Government of India.
Absolutely. Major General Afsar Karim, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Major General retired Afsar Karim, they're telling us that accountability needs to be fixed. It's not just another coincidence. The Navy needs to look at all these incidents together and investigate the matter. We're also being joined by ACM PV Nayak on the phone line. Mr. Nayak, your first reaction to this tragic loss? We're being told that another naval officer has lost his life this afternoon after an accident on board a naval destroyer.
I think it's a very sad state of affairs. The Navy has had a lot of accidents and they need to immediately look in and check up what is going wrong. Sometimes it happens that you do have a spate of accidents because for no apparent reason. But they need to quickly get on their toes and find out what has gone wrong.
Absolutely. And ACM PV Nayak, another thing that's being pointed out by most defense experts is that these 11 incidents cannot be seen in isolation. Now, a thorough investigation needs to be carried out and see if there's a trend that links all these 11 mishaps. We cannot keep losing precious lives of naval officers in this manner.
as a routine thing, the question of sabotage is checked in all these inquiries. So
Okay.
that is not the issue. And these 11 accidents, all of them are not major. Only 2 of them or so have been major accidents.
Absolutely.
And we need to, I'm sure the Navy is already looking into the causes.
All right. And Mr. Naik, I also want to ask you, defense experts are also saying that bureaucratic responsibility also needs to be fixed. So action needs to be taken beyond the confines of the Navy, leading up to the ministry as well.
Of course, why haven't you interviewed the defense secretary, the other members of the defense ministry? What have they done to prevent this delay in acquisition of equipment, not only for the Navy, but for all the 3 services? You never question them.
Absolutely. ACM PV Naik, thanks so much for speaking to Headlines today. Clearly a lot of anger amongst all people of the country and also defense experts saying that accountability needs to be fixed and bureaucratic callousness is something that needs to be checked at this stage. The naval chief stepping aside isn't enough. All these accidents need to be probed once again, and proper accountability needs to be fixed as far as the entire system of entire delay in the procurement system is concerned.